You ever walk into a room and feel like your abuela already knows what you did last summer? That is the energy Coco brings. It is not just a movie. It is a whole family reunion packed into 2 hours with guitars and marigolds. And here is the wild hook. Most people in the United States watch it and think cute story about music. But studies in real life say a huge chunk of viewers miss the point of the actual words. They hear Familia and think small. They hear Abuelita and think Hallmark card. They hear Ofrenda and think Halloween, but make it orange, bro. We got to fix that. So today on Bright English YouTube channel, we are breaking down Coco like we are at a backyard cookout. Paper plates, loud cousins, someone's speaker is too loud. That is the setting, because that is where this vocabulary lives. First thing we keep getting wrong. Familia. In the United States, we say family and picture a Christmas card with 4 people and a dog. In Mexican culture, familia is a universe. It is your parents and your second cousins, and the neighbor who fed you when your mom was at work, and the padrinos who showed up with cash for your graduation. In Coco Miguel's house is packed. They argue, they ban music, they also show up. That is not toxic. That is coverage. If you translate familia as just immediate relatives, you are shrinking a whole galaxy into a sticker. Do not do that. When you say mi familia, say it like you are naming a team, a big one. Second secret, abuelita. This word is not grandma. Grandma is cookies. Abuelita is cookies and discipline and prayers and a look that can stop you from doing dumb stuff across the street. Mama Coco barely talks in the movie, but when she does, the room shifts. That is abuelita power. It is soft and it is steel. Americans love the word grandma because it feels sweet. Abuelita is sweet with a backbone. She will feed you and read you. So if you are learning English in the United States, but you grew up with an abuelita, do not flatten her to grandma in your head. Keep the weight. Say abuelita and feel the hug and the warning at the same time. Third big miss, ofrenda. People call it a table. Bro, it is a time machine. You put photos and pan de muerto and chempasuchil and your tio's favorite drink, and suddenly the room is not just a room. It is a bridge. Coco shows that bridge lit up like a freeway. The point is not decor. The point is invitation. You are telling your antepasados, hey, we still got a plate for you. In the United States, we visit graves. In Mexican culture, we bring the grave to the living room and throw a party. If you think ofrenda is just for pictures, you missed the whole ritual. It is active recuerdo. It is saying you are not gone because we are still talking about you. Fourth insight, recuerdo, memory. But not the kind you shove in a box. Recuerdo is a verb. You do it, you cook the recipe, you tell the story, you sing the song even if you are off key. Hector is disappearing because his recuerdo is fading. That is not just plot. That is how a lot of families feel. If you stop saying the name, the person slips away. In the United States, we say time heals all wounds. In Coco, time erases if you let it. So recuerdo is resistance. It is love with a memory card that never gets full. When Miguel sings Remember Me, he is not performing. He is CPR. Fifth thing, Bendición. Bless you is not the same. Bendición is armor. You ask your elders for it before you do anything big. New job, first date, road trip. In Coco, the Bendición comes with conditions because love is protective. Mama Imelda says, I bless you, but no music. That is her fear talking. That is her bendition with a seatbelt. Later, she gives a bendition with no strings and Miguel flies. That is the lesson. Bendition can be a cage or wings. Depends on how it is given. If you grew up hearing Dam to Bendition, you know it hits different than good luck. It is spiritual, practical, and a little dramatic, which is honestly the whole vibe. Let us keep stacking, because Mexican families do not do top 5 list. We do top as many as it takes until someone says we got to eat. Sixth, Hogar, home. In English, home is where the Wi-Fi connects. In Mexican culture, Hogar is where the chancla lands. It is loud, it is crowded, it is safe even when it is messy. Coco shows the land of the dead with neighborhoods and plazas. But every spirit still makes Hogar. Hector builds Hogar with his sad little corner and his friends. Because Hogar is people, not paint. If you move out at 18 in the United States and call your studio home, cool. But Hogar follows the family. You can be in a one-bedroom with 6 cousins and still feel Hogar because Tia is cooking and someone is playing old songs. That is the difference. Seventh, Cariño, love, but make it small and constant. It is the nickname. It is the extra tortilla. It is the way someone cuts your fruit. In Coco, the whole story is Cariño in motion. Hector wrote a song with Cariño. Miguel plays with Cariño. Mama Imelda is mad with Cariño. Americans sometimes wait for big moments to say I love you. Mexican families say it every day without saying it. They say it with food, with teasing, with showing up. If you watch Coco and think it is about chasing dreams, look again. It is about chasing Cariño and letting it chase you back. Eighth, el que dirán. What will they say? In the United States, we preach main character energy. Do you? In Mexican families, el que dirán is the background music. It decides a lot. It kept music banned in Miguel's house for generations. Not because they hated music because they feared shame. That sounds heavy, and it is. But it is also real. El que dirán paid bills in small towns. It protected reputations when reputations were everything. So when you judge Mama Imelda, remember she's fighting a ghost called El que dirán. Miguel changes the channel. He says we do not live for them anymore. That is huge. That is the movie. 9th, respeto, respect. In the United States, we say respect is earned. In Mexican households, respeto is the default setting. You give it to elders, then you keep it or lose it. You do not interrupt. You do not start eating first. You do not raise your voice. Miguel breaks respeto when he steals the guitar. That is why the ancestors lose it. Not just theft, disrespect. The story resolves when respeto goes both ways. The family respects his music. He respects their pain. That is grown. That is the lesson for anyone learning English and living between cultures. You can be yourself and still give respeto. It is not either or. 10th, ni modo, the two-word shrug that carries generations. It means, well, that is life. It is not giving up. It is keeping on. The Rivera family lived ni modo for decades. No music, no questions. Miguel says, new modo. That is the plot twist. Ni modo is useful. It gets you through hard days. But sometimes you got to retire ni modo and try new modo. That is how curses break. Now, let me give you an analogy because your brain likes pictures. Mexican family vocabulary is like a piñata at a party. It looks simple from the outside. Paper and color. But once you swing, everything explodes. Candy, confetti, feelings, maybe a plastic toy that hurts your foot. Everyone is on the ground laughing and grabbing and sharing. American family talk can feel like a wrapped gift, tidy. One bow, very calm. Coco is the piñata. You got to be ready to get hit with emotion and still smile. If you want the sweet, you take the swing. Personal steak time. I got a cousin who stopped coming to family parties because he said it was too much, too loud, too many questions. He moved, got his own place, lived his independent United States dream. Then his dad, my tío, passed. At the funeral, he broke down and said, I thought I had time. We built an ofrenda that night. He put his dad's old hat and a photo and a soda. He sat there and said, I did not know Recuerdo was a job. That hit me. We think we are busy. We think we will do it later. Coco says later is not promised. Recuerdo is now. Bendición is now. Cariño is now. So if you are out here grinding and you forgot to call home, this is your sign. Debate question, and I want the comments lit, which is healthier. The Mexican family model where everyone is all up in your business but you are never alone, or the United States model where you got space and freedom but you might eat alone. Are we too connected or not connected enough? And unhinged thought, what if every workplace in the United States had an ofrenda in the break room? You walk in, you see your great-great abuela, you remember why you work. Would productivity go up, or would we all just cry into our coffee? Would HR allow it or say ni modo back to work? That is the conversation. Coco starts it with music and color, but it ends in your real life. Now, Bright English YouTube channel family, you know we do more than words. We do culture. We do context. We do the stuff that makes English make sense when you live between two worlds. So if this helped you, if it made you think of your people, if it made you want to call your abuela, do the thing. Subscribe like you are grabbing the last tamal before your primo does. Hit the bell so you do not miss the next drop. Because next time we are leaving the land of the dead and heading to the swamp. Shrek time. Ogres, onions, layers, fairy tale words, donkey who never shuts up. And guess what? Shrek is about family too. The one you choose and the one you do not. The one that annoys you and saves you. Same heart, different swamp. So I will ask you one more time. Ofrenda in your living room or talking donkey in your swamp. Which one keeps your family alive? Comment below. Argue with love. Share this with someone who needs a bendition. And I will see you in the next video. We do not do far, far away. We do right here, right now with extra salsa, peace, love, and marigolds. Subscribe, Familia.